We are nearing the holidays, and this year, everything, as we all know, it's going to be way more expensive than in years past. So the numbers are finally out. The Labor Department released their snapshot of the state of inflation in America, and unfortunately, things are still not looking great. While prices in October were down a bit from September, we are still paying more than 7.5% for everyday needs, which cost people about $450 every month. So the impact is felt at our local food banks too. And the Sacramento Food Bank tells ABC 10 that this summer was the busiest summer in the history of their organization. And food banks across our area are facing increased demand. So in tonight's main point, it is very clear between the pandemic, inflation, and higher costs of living, the increased need for help still remains high.
To look somebody in the eye and to see their humanity and to recognize who they are and their need. The food will be gone and they'll need more food tomorrow, but the dignity we can give to people and the actual love and acknowledgement and value of them, that lasts a lot longer. I am the executive director of the Mercy Coalition here in West Sacramento. And the Mercy Coalition grew originally as a coalition of churches in the faith community all working together, coming together to serve those that are unsheltered, and grew into a full nonprofit. And we get this opportunity now to work with a lot of partners and volunteers in West Sacramento, providing a variety of services, supportive services as well as food services. And we've done that for about 12 years now. There's a whole segment of society that's getting pushed to the brink, pushed to the brink, pushed to the brink. We can talk about economic policies and everything, and all of that's important, but meanwhile, we better figure out how to catch people before they get pushed off a cliff. We have seen those numbers of those who need the emergency food bags, they have shot up since 7-8 months ago, predictably. The inflation problem has, of course, reached people on the poverty line most of all. So the need is greater. And so what we're doing becomes, even though the numbers have shot up, we've got to find a way to meet that need because more people are hungry and they need it. Every race, color, background, gender, age, there are a lot of reasons why people are hungry. There are a lot of reasons why food doesn't reach them, but for all of us, we're trying to bridge those gaps, whatever they may be, without judging who deserves it or who's to blame for the gap. We just want to fill the gap and love people with that, because it doesn't matter who you are, you deserve to eat. You really deserve to eat. And so it really is that little spark and that little need that we see in people's eyes that drives every single person, not just around the Mercy Coalition, but in so many of our partners and volunteers and everybody. It's what keeps them coming back. It's really not that hard. It's just a matter of being deliberately committed to it. At the end of the day, I think we all do it for the same reason. It's because when you look in the eyes of somebody who's hungry, or somebody who's hurting, or somebody who doesn't have the mental capacity to care for themselves and do things for themselves, your heart is moved. And it is that heart movement that ends up being behind all that we do.
Now, when I interviewed Don, I asked him if there are people who are going hungry because they may feel embarrassed to ask for help. And he said the question we need to be asking is, have we as a society made people feel embarrassed to ask for help? And the way he puts it, we've unintentionally created a dichotomy where there are people who are only giving help and people who are only receiving help. And that we often identify people based on what they don't have instead of realizing their worth and what they have to contribute. And we know that nearly 700,000 people in our area go to bed every night not knowing where their next meal will come from. And this is exactly why ABC 10 and Wells Fargo are coming together once again for the third annual Stand Against Hunger. So now through December 18th, the Stand Against Hunger campaign is raising money for 7 local food banks to help feed people who are in need this holiday season. A donation of just $1, that will buy 10 meals. And a donation of $10 will help feed a family of 4 for a full week. So for a list of participating food banks and how you can help, all you have to do is just text the word hunger to 916-321-3310.